All right, y'all, it's time, and I'm doing this live. So not usually what I would normally do when I create a video, but this is just too exciting to pass up. If you haven't already checked out the Sony State of Play, I'm sure that you will see plenty of this and more all over YouTube and in any community that you're in, especially for those of us who have already been hyped for Monster Hunter Wilds. So State of Play so far has been an absolute landslide. I've been really happy about it. Really excited about Silent Hill 2 getting a date finally in October, which is great. And then Until Dawn getting a PS5 release and a PC release, which is hype. But that's not why we're here today, and that's not what we're going to be talking about. I'm going to do a live reaction to the trailer and touch on some things that I know that we got right, some things that really stuck out to me, and then some things that I'm kind of curious about, kind of unsure about, but hey, maybe that would be kind of cool. And then we can do all of the exciting theory crafting and deep dives that come afterwards. So without any further ado, it has been a long wait for Capcom fans, Monster Hunter fans, and anybody who has been in the know when it comes to JRPGs. I'm so excited for this. Let's go. Spoiler alert, by the way, there is sand in Monster Hunter Wilds.
A good spot, we can get things set up and ready to go. And then we can get started. This is gonna be great.
That actually caught me off guard, by the way. That caught me off guard. I was not anticipating the Palicos to be voiced, but by the way, Palicos are here, so that's fantastic. That was missing in the original trailer, and something that I actually called attention to in one of my videos. Also, I love the little charm. That's adorable. That's fantastic. We also get to see a little bit of the story, lore, and ethos surrounding this, which I'll let the video speak for itself.
You bet.
I hope we find them soon.
Let's go. It's our woolly boys. Look at the water effects on this. And it said that it was the video had said that it was on PS5 graphics, that this was taken from the PS5 or some of the cutscenes within the PS5, which is great. That absolves some of the concerns that I had around performance, some of the things that were of concern to me with regards to, say, frame rate or the graphical uplift that we were going to get because the PS5 has been so stretched so far. This looks good, and you can see a lot of the fluid motion is very, very smooth. And you, just look at this. I mean, I was impressed by the amount of lushness in the original trailer, and it really does look like they've doubled down on the ecology, the realness, the trueness to life. And by the way, the coloration, the color gradient from the oranges to the yellows to the browns and the greens is just stunning. Naturally, we see the spires here in the background, and of course we see that helical rock face that we've discussed at length in our theory crafting videos prior. But the other thing that I wanted to call attention to is that they're called Keratonoth. I'm not sure if that's a misspelling, but it sounds almost like it's a play on the word keratin, which is the type of stuff that makes your nails and hair. So that could explain what these scales are made out of here. Keratonoth. But look at this. We've got multiple people riding almost like Chocobo style in Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, right? Where you've got your friends with you, and look at the little guy. He's just hanging out in the back. He's having a grand old time. More to come on this as the video plays. Okay. We saw that for just a half moment. That, I think, was intentional. I really think this was intentional. This isn't like the landscape changing from day to night. Look at the way that all of this brush, this overgrown brush, is represented. It's the same location. This is the same location. This is not full of all of this brush. It's all smooth and flat surface, flat sand across the desert here. This is, to me, indicating the passage of time or indicating seasonal changes that we're going to expect. This isn't just weather patterns, as we know that there are going to be those great lightning storms, which we see more of that as well, and a more of an expansion, I feel, on what had been shown and showcased in the original trailer. Here are the Woolly Boys. Take it back and take a listen to this. Right there, right there. We're hearing that sort of synth that we were getting briefly, just briefly, in the original trailer. But now we're hearing it again, and it sounds like they're really adding in some of that electronic flair, which had only been teased a little bit in World in the Rotten Vale theme. We're seeing more of that here in the trailer. Love it. So there was something that I was considering would be the slinger. This, for me, seems to indicate that this is some sort of like almost like a hook shot. And so I don't think that they're going to be returning the wedge beetles from Monster Hunter World. This looks like it's its own unique thing, its own unique mechanic where it can shoot out and then grapple onto something and then pull it. Kind of like how you could do takedowns in Final Fantasy 16 with Garuda's ability once you got a large monster down to, say, half its health. I also don't think they're going to be using the wire bugs from Rise either. I think that this is going to be much more in line with the new types of mobility that they're going to bring in and introduce into this game. So there it is. He's yanking a rock while on his mount, so that way he could load it into his slinger and take a look where he fires. Bringing that back from World, which is fantastic. That's so cool. All right, charging into the dust cloud, and now we've cut to a cutscene here. So that suggests to me right there that this is actually going to be an open world map. That this is indeed going to be open world the way that we think of when we think of open world. I think we got this right. The thing is that I think that there's still going to be a hub or a central village that we're going to be operating out of, and we'll be taking these as quests, whether on a quest board or in a quest log, going out a field and then following some sort of tracks or some means of tracking down that monster out in this open world. And then we're going to get that confirmation. Okay, cool. We've got a guild or some sort of hunter's village that is backing us and supporting our hunt of this monster. Mobility, and look at that. The combat looks so fluid. This guy looks like he's a real treat. Can I just stop and say how gorgeous the detail on the skin is? That looks so good. He's over here in a puddle of slobber. You know, he's he's not living his best life right now, but for the sake of the video, I am so here for it. There's the charge. Whoa. God, this is so stunning. Hopped right onto the new mount, the Choco Mute, the Palabo, whatever it is, called it at an instant. And I thought that might be where they were going with it, is what they were going to do is they were going to evolve on the Palamute, where you can have them as a counterpart in battle. You're going to be able to swap between land-based or mounted-based combat, and that was something that I wanted in one of my videos. I talked about it, and I was so excited to see this come true, and I think that a lot of you are probably also really happy with what comes shortly after this. Also, pretty neat feature where you see the mobs. There we go, the swap. Look at it, seamless swap for mounted combat where you're using ranged weapons, and you can dismount and come off with an introductory attack. It's so good. Now, that to me tells me that one of two things. It might just be, hey, okay, he got a heavy enough swing, it was enough to stagger the monster. Sure, we know that from prior Monster Hunter games. Or, and this is a big if what they're aiming is for more fluid, responsive, deep combat where you can really have a high skill ceiling, then that may be a timed attack where you are not just hitting it with a strong swing and the monster recoils. You may actually be able to time an attack that allows you to counter and riposte almost Dark Souls style and send a given monster flying. This also confirms to me another thing, that there are going to be monsters, multiple monsters afield. We are going to be fighting packs and herds of monsters, very much doubling down on all of that sort of like pack and herd mentality that I had called attention to in a prior video as well. Look at that. So good. Oh, I love it. I love it. It feels so meaty, and that's one of my favorite parts about Monster Hunter combat, at least in World anyway, where those blows, when they connect, you can feel the impact of how it connects. It's so good. Fantastic. Right, so this guy looks a bit like a combination of Gortash and Barnabas Tharmer. I don't know. Yeah. Not him. This guy right here. Barnabas Tharmer and Gortash all mixed in one. But he looks like he's going to be our main character, which may mean that we're not making our own character, that we're actually taking the place or taking control of a character and playing a game story in a more narrative style, where we're going to be playing it through his experience and on a more linear and narrow main story narrative with plenty of other optional or side quests, of course. And the SOS goes out, and we've got the friends to play. So whether it is truly open world or not, we're going to have our friends here. Take a look at this though. Look at that, right in the jaw, timing it right in the jaw so that way you can stop the impact of the monster's attack. Now, if that's something that you can do on command, that's insane. That's absolutely insane. I'm also probably going to have to start playing as a great sword user now and moving away from my beloved insect glaive. I don't know, but it's so good. This has got me so hype. There it is. Now, last thing that I want to call attention to here, PS5. PS5, no mention of PC here. Now, I know that this is for the Sony State of Play. That makes sense to me. But in all of the literature and all of the the interviews and the original trailer, it said PC, Xbox, Steam, like it was all there. Now, I don't know if this means that we're going to get an exclusivity deal where Capcom's going to release for PS5 first and then going to port over to the other consoles. I'm not 100% certain, but it might just be something that we can easily explain as, hey, this is PS5, this is the Sony State of Play. I mean, you could also argue the same thing with Until Dawn, which also has a PS5 and a PC release, but that's a Sony IP. This is a Capcom IP, so maybe they're trying to play it cautiously. I'm not 100% certain, but I really hope that they go for a simultaneous release. That would be ideal. And set bonuses. Very nice. You can get some save data bonus if you played Iceborne and the base Monster Hunter game, the Monster Hunter World. So with that in mind, my friends, that is exciting. I'm hype about this. I'm really looking forward to this. I'm looking forward to digesting more as we get into the later months of the year. We're going to be hitting the halfway mark next month through the year. I cannot believe it's been 7 months. 7 months since the original trailer debuted. But with that in mind, talk to me about it. I want to hear your thoughts. I want to hear what you noticed, the details that you spotted that I didn't call attention to. I'm confident that even at a first reaction video that there's plenty that I missed. Let's talk about it in the comments below. And you'll see on the side of the screen here other videos that I've done. Lots of it are theory crafting. Lots of it are speculative in nature based upon Capcom's behaviors, Capcom's typical release schedules and cycles, and the different ways that they have used symbolism to kind of like speak without speaking and to convey a message without necessarily using words themselves. They love to tease and hint, and we just kind of got to go along for the ride and try to read between those lines. So I want to hear what your thoughts are. I want to hear your speculation, and we'll have plenty of other videos and content to come. Thanks, everybody. I'll see you in the next one.